Hi friends, this is High Speed Board Design and Simulation Training Institute. Today we are going to discuss DC to DC converters and LDO with its applications. Like today we will discuss the internal circuitry of the buck regulator and the LDO also, where we have to use the buck regulators, where we have to use the LDO. All these points we will discuss today. Let's start.
Device says that some high voltage DC to low voltage DC need to convert. Okay, and what signifies the boost? Boost like revert of the buck, correct? Low voltage DC to high voltage DC. Okay, then somehow if you are going to compare, the persons are asking the multiple questions here ki LDO is meaning the same, at least high voltage DC to low voltage DC, correct? Okay, then if you are going to compare this LDO and this buck, then somehow it is same, correct, as per the current scenario, such that here we are getting from high voltage to low voltage. In the buck also we are getting from high voltage to low voltage, correct? Then which one we have to use? I have to go for LDO or I have to go for the buck, correct? This is the very challenging. Then how we have to choose in which application I have to use the LDO, or it depends on your application. Application means where, what type signal you are going to measure. What the meaning here? LDO, no ripple. Okay, here ripple. Other one, yes, that's true. Difference between input output voltage less. Here difference between input output voltage can be more, correct? I will share this documents with you. No need to write. I will share. Other things. What is coming? Yeah, this is the major thing. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Coming on that one. No EMI Su. EMI Su coming. Okay. Right now I came other form factor, efficiency, more, efficiency less. Okay, yes, correct. You can say the efficiency is meaning if you are providing that 5 volt and I am telling the 80% efficiency, it means the 20% loss are there, and that device can able to produce only 80% at the output, right? Then 80% means it can provide maximum 4 volt at the output, not more than that. Hmm. Yeah, yes. I will come at there. And okay, these are the major form factors. Okay. The other, if you are going for other, like if you are taking as example here, as we told, like 12 volt is your input voltage, and after that 3.3 your output. Okay. But generally you also know this thing, and whatever you told, that's what the correct only. Here the difference is more, right? Then at that moment we should have to go with buck converter. Why? It operates switching mechanism. Okay. Then in this case efficiency matter. Okay. This one the major is like advantage here. If the voltage conversion is less, okay, here if you are this is the buck case, the difference, what the difference is around to 8.7, correct? See, then 8.7, like if I'm just considering here it is a 1 ampere, then what happens here nearby this 8 watt, this conversion, it is very difficult with the LDO. Okay. Yeah. What happens, come here in the LDO section. See, right now we are taking the example, after that we are going inside the LDO, then you will understand properly. If any input like that 5 to 3.3 volt, then here what is that, difference is only 2.7 volt, right? No, 1.7, correct? Difference. Then what happens, yes, if I'm just considering nearby like a 1.7, I'm considering the with 1 ampere, then nearby like 1.7 watt. Okay. Then such this type of power dissipation, it is very easy with LDO, but not more than that. What happens, you see like in the LDO always we have the thermal pad.
Yes.
And after that we are providing a proper thermal pad in the PCB also, and we are providing proper via.
Yes.
Like thermal dissipation. Okay. Then here thermal pad and via for proper heat management in LDO, correct? This is happening. If you are, then this is some basic introduction of the LDO and the buck. Okay. If I'm coming in the LDO section, yeah. Yeah. See, like right now the scenario are happening up to around 2 ampere current. You can get easily LDO. But if you need any like a 4 ampere, okay, 8 ampere current, then at that moment you cannot get LDO. If you have any application, okay, you need 4 ampere current. Ampere current. Ampere means current. ampere, yeah, right. Then like 4 ampere, 8 ampere, 10 ampere. See here, see here. Don't go any. You have to go with the formula only. See here. Right now I consider the 1 ampere. Okay, that's why it is the 1.7 watt only. Take example. If this is 4 ampere, 8 ampere, or 12 ampere. Okay, then what happened? Calculate this one. Just tell me the value. 20.4, huh? Okay. Then see Karthikeyan, you are a layout engineer. Then is that easy for you to dissipate such huge power in the trace? It is easy, correct? And when you will provide the via and you will try to dissipate this heat into the ground plane now, then at that moment, whatever the written path, it will be applicable for your high speed signal now, then it will be impacted, and you will get the like multiple issues. You will get the crosstalk, ground bonds, multiple issues you will get at that moment. Like how your temperature is getting increased, the multiple issues like the copper roughness and all, it will come over the picture. Okay, and your material maybe get behave with the other form way. Okay, you cannot determine. Basically you have to go with the thermal. After that you should have to know maybe what can be happened here. If you are using any high speed signal out there, maybe DDR or PCI, then I am sure 100% your whole I diagrams, your all oscillations and all will be bad in this temperature. Okay, that's why you got your answer, I think, right? Okay. Limit, generally we are going around to 2 ampere. Yeah. See, right now it is very easy to maintain in the layout around to 2 to 3 watt. It is very easy at least, and it depends on the. It is not one point only. It depends on the package of the IC also. Correct? It can. Yeah. See, this is your PCB. Okay. Have you did thermal analysis ever? Okay. If this IC is producing the temperature more, okay, maybe this you take this one, 13.6 watt. Okay. To dissipate this heat, you are using some trace, you are using some plane. Then at that moment, maybe some capacitor are there. Okay. Maybe I don't know that are having the X5R capability. Then X5R 85 degrees Celsius only. Then maybe it will be go in the edge. If it is going in the edge, then its value if 10 microfarad, then at the 85 degree it will come around to 1 microfarad or 2 microfarad. I cannot say right now. I have to check the data sheet. Okay. Then what happened? Whatever the application you are getting at the from the 10 microfarad, but the actual value at the 85 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Celsius, that actual value of the capacitor it will be 1 or 2 microfarad. Then here whatever the application was there, maybe you are planning to reduce your ripples or something, you are going to smooth your signal, then at that moment you cannot do. Then what happens? Your ripple will be increased. Okay, and overall your signal got affected. Then here what happens? Your overshoot, your undershoot, your timing means your rise time, your fall time, all get degraded. Then at that moment, whatever the your valid window for whatever the data it is coming, and the clock is there and you have to sample that data, then at that moment you are not able to sample the correct data at a particular time because all these parameters got affected, and you will get the wrong data here. Okay, yeah, then these factors are going to affect. Any other doubt? Okay, no issue. When it comes, then just let me know. Okay, see, yeah, yes, not only these factors, I told these factors will be affected, right? Overshoot, ripple, and all timings, it will be, all will be degraded with, all will be degraded. Yeah, correct only, correct. Then no use to use that board now. If you are getting such problems, then who will use that board? Correct? Hmm. If we are going for LDO here, okay, then in the LDO section, what happens? Here one MOSFET is there. This activities happen here in case of your LDO. Okay, then what happens? Whatever the voltage you are providing here, it is going into the source of this MOSFET. Okay, then your control circuit is already charged with the gate pump. Then at that moment, it is little bit opened only. Then you are getting some voltage here in the drain, and after that, what happens? With this resistor divider, you are getting some voltage here. Control circuit means here some compensation type circuitry are there, like op-amp. Okay, comparator. Comparator, then what he will do? He will compare, okay, maybe from the input side, we are giving some 5 volt. Here actually you need the 3.3 volt. Okay, then whatever 3.3 these resistors value are there, the manufacturers he defined these resistor value, like what the output you want. Maybe the same IC can provide you 3.3, 1.8, or multiple output he can provide. Okay, then at that moment there are the different register settings. So is there, okay? Then due to that, what happens? When you are getting this voltage, then some voltage are coming in the control circuit, and due to that your gate operates, like your VGS is operates, and due to that your VGS, your MOSFET is working only, like the voltage is going to transfer from your source to drain at that moment. Okay, the other parameters, if this voltage is going to increase, maybe if I am taking example like a 3.6 volt, or going to decrease 2.8 volt, then your this feedback voltage will be changed. Correct? And when this feedback voltage changes, then at that moment this comparator, your op-amp, it will detect, oh, that voltage got decreased. Then at that moment directly what happens? It will increase from here, and again, like with the VGS, it will increase. The same thing it happens, like your voltage will be increased from here to here, and it will maintain, or if it is more, then it will reduce. Then that feedback circuitry is happening in your LDO. LDO means low dropout voltage. Got it? Okay, then this is happening exactly. Then the main thing is happening here. Always one problem are happening, like the dropout voltage VDO. See, if this is your 5 volt, this is your 3.3 volt, okay, then whatever the difference are there, right, then it is going to dissipate with the MOSFET, right? Then that is your dropout voltage, nothing. Then what is that? VI minus VO. Correct? This is your dropout voltage. The persons are asking these questions. What is the dropout of your MOSFET? See, if dropout is more, then what happens? MOSFET is your semiconductor device, right? Then at that moment what happens? Then at that moment your switching got affected, Okay, your switching got affected, losses will be more, and that efficiency will be decreased, correct?
Yes.
Then that's why we are telling key in the LDO the difference of the input and output voltage it will be less only. Got it? Right. And that advantage you already got. Correct? Yeah. Then this one the main important thing is coming in the LDO section. Okay. And the basic one I covered it there. And if you are coming, let me.
Yeah.
How the dissipation is happening in the MOSFET. That is the very deep. That is a very deep thing. Like the multiple switching factors are coming in the picture. Due to that, at least it is happening. Okay, the multiple calculation is coming for the your switching of your MOSFET, and like conduction losses, switching losses need to calculate from the MOSFET side, and after that we can go we can tell yes, these are the losses are coming in the MOSFET, and if that dissipation will be increasing more than that, then at that moment your MOSFET will be got damaged. That's why we have to maintain that limit while we are designing these things. Okay, if we are coming in the buck, see, then buck I told you, right, the same thing, but here some scenario are got changed. I'm taking example of transistor, but right now no transistors are happening, but for the sequencing way this is very easy. Okay, mm-hmm. 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 See, designing the converters for each and individual project now, that is not very easy. Okay, because the multiple things it will come in the picture, which one multiple things, stability factors. Then whatever the things we are discussing, that is the correct from the technical side, but there are the multiple things are there from the technical side and from the electrical validation and the proven design, at least the ripple calculation, okay, the the PSSR calculation, okay, the line regulation, load regulation, the multiple factors are coming in the picture. After these parameters we can say ki yes, somehow our device is stable to handle this such load, and it can sustain up to this temperature or up to this load without any issue. After that you can sign off that circuit, at least not before that. Basically these activities are happening in the product based companies only, not in service based companies. Service based company, they are not bothered about such activities. Okay, yeah, correct. See, then here first of all this is your first component, other one if you are going for this one, third one, fourth, fifth one. Okay, then here very basic things are coming in the picture. First of all, what are the components in the buck converters? Okay, then you have to tell like that this is your for switching purpose, switching, then you can tell MOSFET. Earlier they are using the transistor here. Okay, then the component of the buck converters you have to tell like MOSFET, diode, and your inductor. These are the major, and after that you have to also add two things, input capacitor and the output capacitor. Okay, then these are the basic parts of your buck converter. Okay, then here one thing is coming in the picture. Yes, which one? Like if someone is asking to you, okay, how you will calculate your buck converter is sufficient to drive such voltage, current, and all, then that's one you have to know. Okay, just take an example. Maybe we know we need the P out. P out is your 5 watt. Okay, and efficiency we should have to know what efficiency I need for my circuitry. That is 90%. No, 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 no. Not we have to calculate what I need, that one I should have to know. What happens? See, if there are like three unknown, then what happens? You can calculate if there are the like two equations, then two unknowns should be you know at least, right? Otherwise, you cannot calculate the third one. Okay. Hmm. See, in the IC now what happens? In the IC what happens? Always it is mentioning like it supports the 90% efficiency, it supports the 80% efficiency, the what efficiency it supports. Okay, that's why we are going to choose ki I need such that I need this 90% efficiency. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then at that case, some section is coming like your input power VI they have provided at least maybe your input voltage can vary from 12 to 24. Okay, and at that moment what you have to do, you need in the output side 5 volt and 1 ampere. Okay, that's why P out is the 5 watt, efficiency is 90%. Got it? Then you know one formula like input power is equal to P out upon efficiency, or the same like efficiency is equal to P out upon P in, right? This is the basic formula, right? Then from here we are going to calculate what is your P out, that is 5, what is your efficiency 90, then 0.9, then what these factors can, input power you require how much, minimum 5.5 watt. You got this thing? No. Minimum. You have to provide. See, just normally you go don't see. I need the 5 volt and 1 ampere in the output, right? And this circuit having the efficiency of 90%. It means 10% loss it will be happen in the device, right? Then if I am providing in the input only 5 volt, okay, then what I will get? I will get 4.9 volt here, right? 10% loss. Correct, na? Then I am going from the back side. Then at that moment I am just calculating the minimum input voltage it requires the 5.5 watt, right? Okay. Then at that moment you know this one ki at least you need this power in the input side. Then at that moment what you have to do? You have to calculate your current, like you know the formula P is equal to VI, right? Then at that moment you need what? Voltage you know, right? Input voltage VI 12 to 24, anything can be vary, right? You know this one. Then here what is that? P is equal to VI, I need the current. Then V upon P, and at that moment what is the sorry, something wrong? Yeah, this is wrong now. P upon V, correct? P upon V, and P is your 5.5 watt and volt is your 12 volt. Okay. Then at that moment what is that? Rating it is coming. Nearby you, if you calculate, then it will come nearby 4.6 ampere. Okay. Then this is the calculative method of your input current, Karthikeyan. Okay. But actually we are not going with this current in the practical cases. In the practical case, always follow 2 to 3 times of calculated value. Then at that moment what happens, like 2 times nearby 9.2 ampere, then nearby 1 ampere at least. Okay. Yeah, at least 2 to 3 times for the safer side. see anything, if you know your input voltage, input current, output voltage, output current, then you can calculate your efficiency. Got it now? Right now I think you got it, correct? I don't know here input current, right? That's why I fix my efficiency. If I know the input power, maybe like input current, input voltage, output voltage, then from there I can calculate the efficiency. That's true only. Correct? Then after that, like the multiple things are there, how you have to select your MOSFET, how to select your diode, how to select your inductor, how to select your input capacitor, how to select your output capacitor, what are the stability factors, okay, what are the losses are coming in the MOSFET, what are the losses are coming in the your inductor, your capacitor, how you will choose your capacitor. If the multiple persons are telling ki, if we like if ripple are there, okay, in the output, then how you will reduce that ripple, okay. Then the multiple persons are telling ki, no, we will increase the value of the capacitance. If you will increase the capacitance, that's true, ripple will be decreased, but the any other problem will be happen or not? It will be happen. Your signal amplitude will got decreases, and the other thing, your rise time, fall time will be affected at there. Okay. Due to capacitance, RC will be increased. Tau equal to RC, right? If you are increasing the capacitance, then what happens? Your tau value will be increased, right? And tau value what? Your depends on your what is the your rise time of the signal. If rise time will be decreases, then your signal from 0 to 1 it will be changed very slowly. And if it is changed the slowly, then what happens? Whatever the receiver is having, maybe some pins stage got to change from 0 to 1, it is getting some time, and if some controller is waiting for that response, then maybe at that time it will be time out, and it will show some error. Okay, because right now the signaling are going for the gigahertz, not in even megahertz also, right? Okay, the multiple things are coming in the picture. How you will choose the switching frequency. Okay, if the multiple switching frequency are there, if I'm changing, how you will choose the inductor value, how is the saturation current of the inductor, okay, what is that rated current of this one inductor. If I replace the inductor, is that inductor is required or not? If I will remove the inductor, this buck will work or not? If I will remove that this one diode, then what happens? Okay, then multiple things, like in the this is the asynchronous buck. Right now all the buck are coming with the synchronous. The synchronous means your this diode is replaced by your one MOSFET. That is the synchronous buck. Then at that moment, that your efficiency got increased, like 95%, 94% efficiency you are getting right now. Okay, then these multiple things are coming in the picture. How you will calculate your output current, how you know that output current is stable or not, okay, and what is the derating of the capacitors, how you will choose a particular capacitor such that it will not go into saturation, what is that common mode issues, differential mode issues are coming in the picture, the behavior of the current, behavior of the inductors, right? Then multiple things are coming in the picture at least. Then you should have to go through there, and after that you will get at least these things.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.